Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to the Thunderdog Esports Top Dog EU League. It is today we're going to be watching the games between Love Your Girlfriend, I think it is, and Alloy.
Yep.
I'm joined by the amazing The Mish King.
Hey, we got some StarCraft for you today. Again, actually this is a day, Ryder, which will have a lot of StarCraft with BlizzCon.
Absolutely.
About to begin.
I'm very pumped. I'm kind of hoping that we can wrap this up by the time that begins, because I really want to check in that. And, you know, it's one of those things that you don't want to share airtime with the friggin' WCS finals, because you're not going to win. Doesn't matter who you are. You're not going to win that.
Yeah, I mean, that's pretty cray-cray. Unless you're like Valve with Dota 2's Invitational. I think that was the only event ever that can actually beat anything. I mean, they had about 550,000 spectators at one point. It was pretty bonkers.
That's pretty insane.
But barring that, this is the biggest event right now, and not only just esports, but in convention terms.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I think at one point QuakeCon was really big, but then Quake, well, sadly Bethesda happened, so...
Yeah, unfortunately.
Mm-hmm. Bethesda, though, some really good games from them, man. Like, I still need to finish Dishonored. I probably will start that this weekend.
Oh, actually,
I just finished. Yeah.
I haven't even started Dishonored yet. I should get that. Everybody's telling me it's good, so I guess I'll have to go and get it.
It's a really good game. But like, the ironic thing is, I got it before a friend of mine, and he finished it before me, and it turned out to be a really short game. But I personally was just taking, like, I started the game, but it felt like one of those games where you need to invest a lot of time in.
Yeah.
So what ended up happening was I just set it to the side, and yeah, I need to finish that game.
Right. You basically went into this and they're like, well, this is one of those Skyrim-esque games where, you know, you're going to be playing this for a while and you want to probably make some good decisions along the way.
Yep. And turned out not to be like that. Turned out to be actually pretty short. A pretty cool game, though. Like, there are like these things which you find, I can't remember what it was, but you basically use this beating heart, which looks a bit steampunkish because it's got, I think, metal bits or something on it.
Okay.
And it starts to beat as like the closer you get. I think it's like a power up or something. You get like talent points or something that you can invest into additional skills. So that it like starts to beat more when you're close to those, and then it starts to really beat like crazy when you're next to it.
That's pretty
really it's creepy, man, because it's like a dead heart in your hand. But when you get close to the thing, it's like super cray.
Sounds awesome.
What is awesome was actually Batman Arkham Origins. Just finished that today.
Okay, yeah, I'm hearing some mixed things about that. Some people saying it's really good. Some people saying it's pretty meh.
Well, it depends. I mean, if you're a Batman fan, then yes, you will enjoy that game. But if you're a genuine gamer, you may not enjoy the game because it's like... yep, we're both ready.
Yes, we are.
It's one of those games where it's more of the same, but with a much better storyline. That is where I feel Warner Bros. Games did an amazing job. Otherwise, other than that, they seem to have brought pretty much the same Batman game, albeit with fast travel points.
Oh, okay. So it's actually sort of like what we already did, but again and a little bit more.
Yeah. I mean, there are some parts which how do I say this? It's like there's some parts which you don't feel they brought any innovation. Like, I'm gonna give you a spoiler. Wait, have you played Arkham City?
No, I've only played Arkham Asylum.
Oh, okay. In Arkham City, you get this freeze pellet thing, which you can use in the water to make like a float. Right? And in this game, you get a glue grenade, which can do the exact same thing.
Okay. So it feels like it's whatever. Right, we're gonna play the leader and we're gonna get into the game because in the meantime, this is getting started. I'm so excited. Let's get at it. And in the bottom right corner of Avalon Waste, we have our Protoss player from Team Love Your Girlfriend. It is Stun.
Yes, indeed. And his opponent, spawning in the top left-hand side, a fellow Protoss that plays Cyan Trunks. Team Alloy Esports is Zato.
Now, we don't actually get to cast a lot of PvPs, and PvP is one of those interesting matchups that have changed a lot, actually, since the early days of Heart of the Swarm. So I'm very, very curious. Are you very experienced with the PvP matchup?
Yes, sir, I indeed am. I've seen I don't really play Protoss, but I've seen so many Protoss versus Protoss games that have resulted in either like straight up my build order is better than yours, or just completely bonker games.
Because it seems to me that a lot more so than in the days of Wings of Liberty, where 4-gate reigned supreme and every build was, how can I not die to a 4-gate and do something interesting?
Yeah.
These days it's a lot more, there's a lot more scouting involved. You have to keep track of what your playing is doing, your enemy is doing a lot more, or you're just going to end up pulling, the short stick when it comes to big engagements. For instance, if you open up with a Stargate play, your opponent opens up with a Robo play, and the Robo player doesn't actually respond very appropriately to your composition, then there's a lot of good timings that you can sort of run over your opponent by either having more Void Rays, or if they're at the Colossus stage already, by having some Tempest in there. And it just feels like you have to be on the ball on what your opponent is doing at all times. Much more so than in other matchups where you can tend to do just sort of, self-centered timings where you're going to go, I'm going to do this timing at this time because he's generally going to be weak there. And where scouting is really only to prevent you from dying before you get to that point.
Yeah, I agree with what you're saying there. I mean, right now, Protoss feels a lot more flexible than in the days of Wings of Liberty, and I'd say that they're a really, really nice race right now. I mean, sure, they still have... they're still a bit wonky versus Terran. Wonky in the sense that either they will just destroy Terran with pure splash damage, or the Terran will get a few good EMPs off, a few good volleys of those Vikings, and then just steamroll them with Stimmed, Bio, Marine, Marauder.
Yeah.
But other than that, they're just a very well-rounded race, in my opinion, right now. And this particular matchup, which was initially rock, paper, scissors, has turned into a bit... It's gone to the next level, and instead of being pure rock, paper, scissors, it's like, sure, my rock has a Stinger javelin missile on it, so it's still got a shot. It's still got a shot.
So we're seeing Stun going for 2 gateways and a lot of sentries. This indicates to me that he's going to be defensive. He wants to take a quick expo. I'm probably going to be something of a Robo follow-up, maybe even a gateway focus. Actually, there's a 3rd gate going now, so that's not that crazy. His opponent going for the Stargate, giving him a lot of aggressive options, either by going for the...
Oracle.
Oracle is of course a popular choice. Just because it does so much damage, and it's also your surrogate detector against, DT threats or that sort of thing. Of course, another thing that is still popular is Phoenixes. It's also a great harassment option. It's nice to be able to have that mobile unit. It's a little bit of an in-between choice as far as the Stargate opener goes, I feel, because it gives you some map control in mid-game. It can help you defend against attacks. It's not like... if you go for a lot of Oracles, you're committed to doing a lot of damage, because these things are very, very expensive. And Phoenixes don't really have that, but they give you a lot greater degree of control.
Yeah, I know what you mean about the Phoenixes, man. I mean, sure, they do give you a greater degree of control. You can especially lift up the more expensive units. Like, hey, you have 5 Stalkers. Boop! Now you only have 2 Stalkers. Yeah. So it's like, where do my Stalkers go?
Stun actually did not scout it, but he is expecting the Oracle. I think just judging by what his opponent had, the timing of the things he did see, he expected that, Oracle's probable. Let's get my units into the middle line. It's going to deny this little attack by Zato. Very good read by Stun. It was... Oh, and a Photon Overcharge. Only barely doesn't get it. I actually don't like the Photon Overcharge in this case, especially because he didn't end up killing the Oracle. So it was really, like, it didn't do anything that these units didn't also do.
Well, I think that maybe if he had like launched the overcharge a little bit earlier, maybe it would
Yeah,
have done
maybe.
enough damage like that and just starter step. But then again, he did really do a good job there. I mean,
Yeah.
he pretty much forced back that entire attack. And right now, there's no follow up, so spending an expending an overcharge, not really the worst thing, right? In this
No,
situation.
I guess he's going to have at least enough energy for another one by the time the actual attack is going to come out, which looks to be consisting of Void Rays and Gateway units. Maybe a Robo unit or
Oh,
two.
the main base is exposed, Ryder. The Oracle is just ready to bounce, but guess what? Couple of stalkers.
Yep, 2 Stalkers, good enough to hold off an Oracle as
Oh,
well.
it's a trap.
It's gonna get it! It's a good kill, nice pickup for stun. And Xato's,
Quite the trap.
I really like the Void Ray follow-up with the Immortals.
Yeah.
I don't think... no, Stun did not have the Stargate already. Basically, he's going to have whatever he needs to kill Stalkers very, very well. And
Yeah.
because he has the Immortals as well, all he really needs on the ground is a number of Zealots to be able to deal with, Immortals and other ground units. Void Rays aren't really good at dealing with Zealots. For some reason, I keep thinking that Stun has a Stargate, but he doesn't. He's just going to have a lot of Immortals. And a lot of
Yeah, and
Sentries.
also the Twilight Council.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And a Forge, so probably looking to just play that longer game. Maybe he's looking to get some DTs, get some drop-ins. Ooh, something happened here. Did you catch that? What happened at the
Not
natural?
really. I think it was just like maybe another Chrono Boost or something along those lines.
Yeah, maybe.
Oh, interesting enough, we do see a Templar Archives. So he is teching up to the High Templar tech, which is very interesting because I really am curious to see whether he's going to play this out as Zealot Archon or whether he's just going to go for Storm. And right now, the Observer of Zato is just slowly making its way across the map, so he'll get a good look in, see what's happening. And oh, we've got a Warp Prism getting warped in as we speak
yeah.
right now.
Nice harassment potential. I really like the Templar follow-up, just because the one thing Void Rays are very bad at dealing with is, of course, the Archon, because the overcharge doesn't do additional damage. Archons aren't armored. And the splash damage from the Archons, because Void Rays, for some reason, tend to clump up. And it's just having that is very, very good. The Storm, of course, also a good choice. But it's mainly good. The Storm is mainly good against, the Zealots. Oh, it's going to be a Storm drop. That is sick. That is really cool. I'm digging that.
Yeah, man. Storm Drop, always really, really good. I still remember Rotterdam Storm Drop back during the beta of Heart of the Swarm. He just, like, stormed the living daylights out of a mineral line. It was pretty crazy and pretty sick. And the Warp Prism is slowly making its way across the map. It's already going to the top right-hand side. He wants to be as safe as possible, man. He doesn't want this drop to be scouted at all. So,
of course, he does
the
not
main
have-
base.
His opponent does have the Stargate, so that does give him a little bit more utility in dealing with drops before they even get to the main. He could easily have a Void Ray out here, just to help defend against this sort of counterattack. Because I think actually Zato is pretty well defended from any frontal attack just by having the 2 sentries.
Getting closer. It's so close that right now his main base is completely exposed, and he sees nothing. Here comes the drop.
Oh!
Boom.
Decent Storms gets a good number of kills, and by good number of kills I mean 4. That's not actually that worthwhile considering he used 2 Storms.
Yeah.
I think he preempted. He did not preempt those probes moving away, so he just sort of stormed in place.
And the ironic thing is, if he had stormed like towards the area, like all the probes ended up going in one direction.
Yeah. If he got
if
a
you
storm
just-
off on that area, that would have been so many dead probes.
Yeah, but the good news is the Warp Prism is still okay. He hasn't really sent these Void Rays to go after it. Like if I had seen that, I would have sent the Void Rays to go Warp Prism hunting. But then again, Warp Prism pretty fast unit, so
That's very true.
don't know if he would have got it. Yep.
Yeah, so definitely, like, Acheron Waste, of course, is, in most non-mirror matchups, it is Protoss favored because of the defensive advantage that you get by taking this third really, really easily. There's, like, if you try to take a third in a PvT on Belshir Vestige, that's very difficult. Your third's far away, your army is going to be a little bit smaller and immobile, and, you're going to struggle with that. Unless you do something like Aggressive Opener. This map has none of those issues. You can just take a third by sitting in your natural as you tend to do anyways. So that's gonna definitely send his game into the later stages, making these harass options just a little bit more viable. Normally, harassing PvP can be a double-edged sword because maybe you get some kills on probes, but if a timing is about to hit, then that's also units that you don't have to defend there. So it can.
Oh, nice, bro. Nice micro pulling the probes back. Is he gonna come back? Oh, they're all stacked. Oh, massive
not
storm.
The greatest storm. Stun, whiffing a little bit. I definitely like the idea, and the fact that he is able to save the War Prism and both Templar means that, maybe it didn't do that much damage, but it's okay. He can try again, he can come back later. Unless these Void Rays... Oh, that's just a pilot. Never mind.
Oh, the War Prism. It stopped.
It's so close.
It's chilling on the left. Man, this is like the hunt for Red October. It's like both of the guys, they're like, switch off the sonar, and they can literally hear each other pass.
Absolutely.
Underwater. Yeah.
Of course, the question is...
Players just macroing so heavily right now. Like, it's very rare for me to actually see a very passive PvP.
Yeah, normally you see a lot more, timings and little. I'm going to try and hit this very cleanly, very neatly. There's this nice little window here where I can do a lot of damage. Oh, feedback on a hallucinated Phoenix. That's a waste of energy, especially with all these Archons.
Yeah, I agree with you. Like in a normal situation, I'd be like, yeah, man, what's up with this guy showing off? But considering how it's like they have actually poked each other quite a lot.
Yeah.
They have tried to be aggressive, but normally you'd see a higher level of aggression.
Oh, wow.
Like main army versus main army kind of aggression. But this time around, man, these guys, they're pacifists.
Yeah, I guess they just want to get to that really late stage. I think they're both confident that their composition is going to be the one that's the better one. Both of them, actually, only Zato has the Colossus. Stun has this giant Zealot Archon army with a lot of Immortals. Ooh. Getting the Observer.
Guess what? There is a 20 supply difference between these two gentlemen.
Yeah, this is pretty much what you expect from a PvP. Stun is like, okay, at this point I'm gonna have a bigger army, I think, so I'm gonna do a push. He has +2 done. He has +3 halfway done. I don't think that's gonna finish before this little push. Well, little. I say little, but this is a lot of units for this push hits. And Zato is currently, he's still heavily invested in trying to get these Colossus out, but this is a nice little structure. This is going to help him, defend against all of these charge lots. They're going to be virtually useless in this. I think that's actually a solid wall.
Yeah, but even if it isn't, they'll be funneling through it, so,
so
their numbers will be rendered useless.
Absolutely, and that's going to be Zato's big advantage here. And Stun's going to have to be aware. He can't just sort of march in. This is, of course, a bit of a better place to engage, but I think Zato knows what's going to be up. He's seen the army move across the map, and he's going to be aware that, I've seen what composition you have. I know you have this Zealot Archon army. I'm going to have to be very careful where I engage. The more open space I give you, the better the engagement is going to be for you. And I think Stun, he's sort of going back and forth. I'm not sure if he's decided to retreat there.
Yeah, he's also getting a fleet beacon and behind this, so I think he's kind of comfortable in the position he's in, and he's probably going to start taking into some Tempests. He already had like 2 gateways, as you can see, adding on a 3rd.
Yep.
And also getting extended thermal lance, so you might see a mix between, you never know, maybe even carrier Colossus, which is also a thing.
Peppering in 1 or 2 carriers, I think, is a great idea in these late situations. But the Tempests are, of course, a lot more suited at dealing with the Colossi, just because they can pick them off from so far away, and they do tons and tons of damage. Because, of course, their weapon counts the Colossus as an air unit, so they do that extra damage.
Like, the only unit that can really bother a carrier in this particular matchup, in my opinion, like, if you use the carrier properly, that would have to be the Tempest itself, right?
Yeah.
But still, it's like you'd expect carriers to be more useful in this matchup than others, because in other matchups you'd have to contend with Vikings, Corruptors because they can be made in mass and just like one volley, your carrier is dead. But when it comes to Vikings, they can just kite for days.
Yeah.
And still a cheap unit as well. But in this particular matchup, you need an expensive unit to really be able to deal with carriers. So, endgame carrier play, where is it at, man?
Yeah, I think it's gonna make a showing,
Oh.
just even 1 and 2. If you actually look at
Alrighter.
Zato, he has a bit of a
Alrighter.
problem. What's up?
We've got a Colossus drop. It's at the third. The Colossus is about to be dropped.
Oh, but it's gonna get pwned.
Oh, he drops it.
Oh, does he get a Templar? If he gets 1 Templar, that's good. Get some probes. Well, not the greatest drop in the world, but it's, you know, points for trying, points for creativity. Oh, actually, a lot of Zealots coming in here into this third from Zato. Gonna do a lot of damage. Good cleanup by Zato himself. This fourth is gonna survive for now, which is later, a lot later than his opponents. But I think Zato is gonna be aiming for that big 200-200 push with a pretty significant army. Ooh, 4 DTs, dying fourth.
Yeah, I mean, these DTs are all going to be annoying. Zato is getting his own DTs, and meanwhile, another double-pronged attack. So this is very hero-esque, where he's just going to be trying to be very mobile, trying to be very annoying with these gateway units. And
Zato does
I would
have
actually like
problem.
to see... Yep.
Is that he only has 1-2 upgrades, +1 armor, +2 attack, whereas Stun has +3 armor, +1 shield, and +2 shields on the way. And of course, Zato is going to have +2 armor any minute now, but I think it's going to favor Stun in terms of upgrades, just because he's going to have a lot more firepower on the ground. Though, and he actually has, well, they both have air upgrades, so that's not a factor. Oh, here comes a big-ass engagement. We have got some Zealots get a cleanup instantly, because Colossus and Archons, it's going to be up to the Immortals. There's a lot of firepower for both players.
We got cannons in the front, and those photon cannons have tanked so much damage, man. I'd say they paid for each other there. A couple of Colossi in the background, and it looks like Stun has done it. He's got so many Archons, so many Immortals, so many Colossi. Not to mention, actually, no, the Tempests look like they were cleaned in the background, but how is Zato going to contend with this ground force?
Yeah, it seems like Stun wants to be a little bit careful, maybe wait for another warp in before he moves in, but really all that Zato has is these 4 Void Rays, and there's 4 Archons and a lot of Stalkers. There's a lot of big Zealot warp in, but there's a lot of splash here, and they're just not going to live that long. There's the GG well played. Good game by both players. Stun taking that, I think it was down to the upgrades. I'm pretty sure that was a big deciding factor. Like, Zato had even had the advantage of having static defenses there, doing a lot of damage. But Stun, well, he had more Immortals, so he had a lot of burst damage there, which is going to be good against the Colossus. In the later stages of the engagement, because, you know, in the initial stages it's the Zealots, then you have, you know, the Archons, then you have the Colossus, and the Immortals are sort of the next step in the things that get killed by other Protoss units. And I think that because of that attack upgrade, he just got a little bit more mileage out of the units that he did have. And then, you know, Immortals are pretty good against Colossi. So, there you go.
Yeah, I can't help but agree with you, man. I mean, those upgrades, man, they really like swung it in the favor of Stun. And also, one thing which I'd like to point out is that clever little proxy cannon shenanigans that Stun did. I mean, if you notice, a lot of those cannons tank so much damage. Like, 2 of them went down immediately, but 2 of them were still tanking a Zealot and an Archon. And that's a Zealot and an Archon that could have been busy attacking the main army.
Very
so
true. Even
even if they were on even terms, it's just he was attacking into this proxy beachhead that Stun had established in the middle of the map. So I don't think it would have been like completely wise for Zato, even if he was on even Stevens in terms of upgrades.
Yeah.
Like, it wouldn't have been as one-sided as it was, but it would have still been in favor of Stun, I feel.
Yeah, probably. I mean, even if we saw, and I'm actually going to wait till the stream catches up, because I thought I saw the Tempests not actually shooting at the Colossus. They were shooting at the Void Rays.
What were they doing? Yeah,
they were shooting at the Void Rays,
both
which were
fighting.
engaging there. And that just goes to show how big of an advantage that +1 attack is. That even your Tempests, which have the specific goal to take out Colossus, if they just sort of go, well, I guess I'm not shooting at things I really should be shooting at, even then, you still get the favorable engagement. Because that's 5 Tempests I'm seeing not participating in a battle. Okay, he does actually shoot at some of the Colossus. No, okay, so he was actually doing some good focus firing there, regardless. Left one
Yeah.
Colossus standing, but overall, I think it was really just the value of Stun's army that won that engagement. And, you know, of course, that is because he was apt at getting quick upgrades. He got a quicker 4th base. He had a little bit more economy to get that off of and still get those units he needed to defend. And, of course, going for the little bit of a more cost-effective army composition in the early stages meant that he had a little bit more money going into the later stages. Which is something that Xado didn't have because he went for the Colossus so quickly.
Mm-hmm.
I guess.
Yeah.
I guess that's as good as we can see. PvPs tend to be decided very, very quickly, and it may take a little bit more practice to figure out what happened and how exactly these matches play out. But you know, we're gonna do the best. We're gonna keep on learning, and we're going to take a short break. Actually, I think the next match is already being set up.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm tempted to just sort of talk about something interesting for a minute and then get into game number 2.
Well, what's interesting is the fact that we'll actually see some gameplay footage, like some more gameplay footage actually out of Heroes of the Storm, whether they've changed it or whether it'll be the same as they initially announced it, because initially they were like, this is going to be a 15-minute kind of, on average kind of gameplay.
Right.
Every match will be 15 minutes, which I'm not cool with because that's just it's too casual, man. How can you have a MOBA game where the match lasts only 15 minutes?
Dude, I would be delighted if they managed to pull off a MOBA, a well-working MOBA, a competitively viable MOBA where games take about 15 minutes.
Like, it won't be. It's like that. Unless you have like stages or something, and it's like the first stage is like that much. Like that's one tower. And then you have to take another tower, because
no. Basically, what you can do is you can essentially just go for the same basic game design and go, well, we want to accelerate the pace alone. We don't really want to change anything. Like if that's what they wanted to do, I'm not saying that's what they're doing. If they wanted, they could just go, well, we want to make essentially League of Legends, or we want to make Dota, but we want to up the pace because we think that 30 to 40 minutes for a match on average is kind of high. Maybe that's their ideal, and then they're like, okay, what damage values do we need to tweak? Maybe damage health ratios, how long towers live, how quickly minions kill things, and all of these factors they can just sort of tweak numbers, and just sort of see that minute bar of the average game length draw further back until they're like, okay, we think that the game is in a good place. I think it's viable. I think you can do that in terms of design. The question, of course, is what's going to do that to the experience? Because if you die really, really quickly, that's going to be a problem, I think. If your minions have no health, it's going to be a problem.
Too casual.
If you can accidentally kill a tower, that's going to be a problem,
Yeah, because that in MOBA games like Dota 2 and League, you can actually have particular strategies that can take towers. Like the first tower can go in under 5 minutes. So it's not like it's impossible, it's just that the way things are right now, like the normal meta and stuff, it's like there is about 30 to 45 minutes. That's how a normal game lasts.
Yeah.
And you get a feeling of like progression and stuff. There's a little bit of leveling here. There's a lot of things going on, right?
Right.
But 15 minutes, man. Imagine being like like whatever the max level is in 15 minutes. That just, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe.
I want to try it.
Yeah.
I want to give it a shot. And I'm gonna keep a complete open mind when I do so.
Yeah.
And Alloy Buskar, GM.
Ooh, yeah, that's something else, man. This guy's playing with the big dogs in the top dog EU League. We are going to go into an awesome video that's going to explode your mind and maybe your speakers if your volume is up. Yeah. We're still waiting.
Yes, we are. Love Your Girlfriends, Lissandro versus Alloy Esports' Busker.
It's a PvZ.
Yep.
Alright. In the top left corner of Belshir Vestige, in the purple pieces, Oh, these are wonderful colors. In the purple pieces, we have from Team Love Your Girlfriend, Lysandro.
Yes, and his opponent for the day, the Zerg player from Alloy Esports, sporting the pink trunks. We have Busker.
Busker, of course, already pairing up his workers, as you should when you have the APMs and nothing else to do, which in the early stage of the game, that tends to be the case. Just pair up your workers, get used to that stuff. It's gonna help you.
Yeah, it's always annoying though when your worker, like, just, even though you get it stacked, he still will be like, nope, I have to go on the longest mineral patch, if that makes sense.
Or the worst thing is when you pair a worker and it does it for like 1 or 2 returns, and then he decides to go, well, you know what, I really like the other mineral patch more, I'm gonna go there instead. Like, that just makes me want to punch a worker in the face, you know?
I know, even though they're kind of cute and cuddly, but still, they must die. And you gotta be careful about the probe's face, because its face is technically a giant eye.
Yeah, you don't want to break it, because that's also how it holds the minerals. I think there's like a floaty device in there. I'm sure there is.
Well, if you do break it, it'll just be like spamming pylons everywhere blindly, because, well, YOLO life, bro.
Ooh, relatively early pool from Busker. Actually, that's a 15 pool, if I'm not mistaken. So that's
that
actually not early at all.
Yep, pretty standard, bro.
Yeah, as they tend to be. Gateway opener, of course, from Lysandro, who is it's an interesting little position for the pylon. Now, something that I've been seeing some Korean players do. Ooh, nice little hatch block. We'll get to that later, as we're gonna watch this Dance of Death, where this is where the Zerg player wants to punch the Protoss player. Actually, Lysandro is just gonna let it go down. Probably thinks that the probe is more valuable than denying the hatch for as long. So actually, something I've been seeing some Korean players do, which is actually not possible on the Belshir Vestige, is that they place their second pylon like in these little gaps between the minerals, and then they use their cyber core to wall off, so that links can't actually run all the way through your mineral patch. Which is
you can like block it off with one probe, right? Like, if there are any gaps, you can block it off with one probe.
Yeah, so basically what this does, if your opponent does go for a few links in your main, normally that can be a very, very big pain to deal with, because Zealots and slow Zerglings have the same speed, so they're sort of chasing each other Benny Hill style infinitely, and you know, you want to pull your hair out at that time. And that actually helps it so that the Zergling can't go anywhere, so you can anticipate a little bit better where it's going to go. And you know, when you have that level of control, that you can just sort of look at that and go, oh well, I mean, I've walled off this space, I've walled off this space, so I know that, you know, the next time the Zergling's going to want to exit, it's going to be either here or here. You can sort of anticipate that, send the Zealot around, and it's going to make it a little bit easier to hold off those not quite Zergling run-bys, but those early Zerglings that Zerg makes in the hope that, you know, maybe I can get a probe, maybe I can disrupt your mining for a little bit. It can be worth the 2 larvae, 100 minerals that it takes to get those links out.
Yep, yes indeed, because it just throws you off, man. Sometimes you can just it's a very simple thing, but sometimes it can just like make you lose your concentration, and all having to deal with this. You might end up plopping down that X building a few. Maybe even a few hexagons off the exact point that you wanted it to be put down, maybe a little bit later. And those little things, they add up in the end.
Yeah, okay, so this is interesting, because Zerg has the metabolic boost, but he's still mining the gas. So this is looking to be a bit of a road Zergling timing here. We're going to see if Lysandro is going to be able to hold that off. He does have the Forge and the Robo in the wall, so that's definitely a point of vulnerability, although they are relatively resilient structures. It's not like there's a pylon in there that you can just sort of pick off.
This is so very interesting, because he is getting a third right now. He's gotten up that Roach Warren a bit earlier than he normally would. I like having the speed, because speed gives you a nice amount of control, and this is interesting, because I don't think his natural is completely saturated as of yet. It's getting there.
On the minerals it is,
yeah.
but if he wants to get the gas, he's going to need a few more.
Yeah, because as I was saying that, some of the drones I think just came from the main into the natural.
Yeah, he's got the drone counts now to especially with those in production just now. He's got the drone count to have full mineral and gas saturation
Oh,
from the
okay.
bases that
Excellent.
he has.
Oh, whoa.
Okay,
this is a timing.
Yeah,
this is a timing.
This is a very, very specific timing. Baneling Nest coming up. We're going to see if Lizandro is going to realize...
And the macro hatch.
Yeah, the macro hatch especially, which is actually spotted by the observer, including the lair. Wasn't the roach worn down already? Where is it?
Yeah, I think he cancelled it. I think that might have been like a roach warn, like an emergency one or a safety one, but
I think
that's really weird though.
It might have been the same reason why Protoss players make a zealot and then cancel it.
Yeah, but it's just a bit of a waste in my opinion, because it's
that's true. Because you don't actually.
Yeah,
get
but you never know. Yeah, you never know. Maybe he was planning to just have the zealot like roaches, but then he was like, nope, I'm gonna cook my food this way instead of that way. So the Lings are just gonna peek in the front, test the waters.
They're gonna see that this is the thinnest defense that Protoss tends to have. That one zealot.
The War Prism though.
Yep.
The War Prism is making its way into the main base of Busker. He doesn't see it, but he's got 2 hatcheries worth of production.
That's actually in range of the vision. Very, very comfortably. So Busker is gonna get the Lings in here, gonna get the drones. That's a big pull, but this is still 4 zealots, and you can't underestimate those zealots. Banelings are gonna come down. It's gonna do a little bit of disrupting of the mining. The queens go down. A bunch of drones actually die. This is starting to be a pretty cost-effective attack. If Busker can pick up those sentries, then this is gonna mean big hurting.
Oh, here come the bling blings.
Oh,
Not
good
the
explosions.
best detonations though, but it's good enough, and it looks like he will end up clearing the entire thing. Busker. That was really nice, well done in the end.
Yeah, immediately going back to the drones. That's a perfect response. He has a big Zergling army out still. Quit lagging, please. It's all good. You cool, man? You there?
Yeah, I'm lagging like heck though. I don't know why.
Well, more zealots coming in through over the third, but there's a lot of Lings still here. We might be going to a pause because this is actually
game paused.
Dude,
well, it's getting like ridiculous right now. I don't understand why I'm lagging, and I can't even tell the players. One sec. Hello, can you say something?
Yeah, I can definitely say something.
How about you try calling me?
Hello? Are you hearing
me? Can you try calling me?
Okay, yeah, I'll call you. One sec.
Game resumed.
Alright, we are having minor technical difficulties. At the same time, Zealots are still very, very effective against Zerglings. Unless they get separated, that's a good pick-off by Busker. Welcome Mac TMK to the action. These Zealots are going to clean up these Lings, and there's Blings with speed. That's actually a great timing there. 4 Zealots.
Well, I had to kind of leave the game there because I was getting a lot of lag my side. I don't want to like hurt the players, so
everybody's lagging now. Everybody. The other caster is lagged out. Lizandro is currently lagging out. I think BattleNet is having a fit because WCS is about to begin, and I think that, maybe there's just a little bit something crazy going on. We might actually just have to go to a remake if we can't pause this. Yeah, I don't think it was just you, man. I think that it was just the unfortunate side effect of you lagging out first.
Well, this is just sad.
It is. It is a sad day for esports when a major esport event. Well, actually, we don't know if it is WCS that's causing this. All I know is that both of them are happening today, and I don't really see players lag out like this very often. So we don't know.
Yeah, I'm getting like my internet is like super slow right now. I have no idea why.
Huh. Yeah,
it's quite bizarre.
Yeah, I think Lizandro is actually disconnecting from the game.
Oh,
I don't know that we're getting him back, so this might have to be a resume from replay. So we're gonna have to get Shock in here, get this all sorted out. Don't worry, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we will be returning to this game in some capacity as soon as we can. So that was a very, very effective push so far. I think actually Lisandro lost a lot of stuff in the main, while Busker did a very good job of relatively cost-effectively cleaning that up. Now I don't think Lisandro actually has a follow-up right now. He has the Robo in the wall, but I don't think he's produced anything of it aside from an observer and that Warp Prism. And you know, because the game's lagged out, I can't actually look at the main. If we're going to continue from this game, then I imagine that Lisandro is going to have a little bit of difficulty if he isn't able to do a lot more damage than he has so far. So we're going to see how that's going to unfold, if we are going to continue this game or if there's a new game to be played. But yeah, we're going to go to a quick little break while this is sorted, so definitely don't go anywhere, stay tuned, and we'll be playing some sweet tunes in the meantimes. So bear with us, we will catch you in a little bit.
Ryder, are you there? Yeah, just dude. I want your help here actually. Wait, why did you leave? Uh, dude, I am not. Yeah, oh my god, dude. Yeah, there's actually a better way of. No, this is the thing which allows everybody to see everything. There's actually a better way. Dude, you have to. This isn't recover replay. Are you sure this is recover replay? Alright, I shall trust you.
Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Thunderdog Top Dog EU. We're going to be resuming from replay. Yes.
Okay,
Alright.
man. Okay, I'm gonna take a bet with 10 gold pieces that this is not gonna end well.
Alright, we're going to go back to the last time. Whoa. Whoa.
Yeah, but
whoa.
the question is, man, are we gonna get to that exact point, or are we gonna get to the point where everybody will see everything?
No. It actually asked me, because I set it up, at which point we need to be resuming. And it showed
Right.
the prompts where the disconnects happened and where somebody
And
paused the game.
also, which player is which, right?
That it
Yes.
did not.
Because you see, when you weren't here, that one cast, Josh showed me how to do it, and it's like you add everybody into the party, then right-click on the replay, and then recover, and it automatically does everything.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I did it the other way around, where I started
Yes.
the recovery and then invited the players.
Now, I hope that both players won't see everything, because a similar situation happened between MVP and MC, but hopefully that won't be the case. Hopefully it won't be the case.
Hopefully, we'll have better production values than top-rated tournaments. So we're gonna just play this leader video again, because you know.
MVP was better, man. I mean, he saw exactly what MC had, and he still said, you know what, no, you win. So, yep, just a waiting. Just a waiting. 10 gold pieces, man. That's a lot of gold.
That it is.
Yep.
In fact, I'm not sure I can remember the last time I've held a gold piece, like an actual piece of gold.
Yeah, I don't think I've held a piece of gold in ages, man. Like what sort of gold? Like pure gold, or?
Well, as pure as it is required for a piece of gold, I suppose.
Mm-hmm. By the way, what was up with that random lag, man? Like, seriously, everything just went slow.
Yeah, I'm not sure what happened there. I think, also because multiple people were having the network issues at the same time, it wouldn't seem reasonable to me that it's just, you know, a coincidental 3 people lagging out at the same time.
Could have had something. Yeah, it could have had something to do with that. There's like a line which connects Asia to Europe that's near Egypt.
Oh, okay.
And that line always seems to get messed up. Like every year, at least once or twice a year, that gets messed up. The degree of how messed up it gets, that varies. But other than that, that line, man, that line. So you never know. Of course, I am in Asia. You are in Europe. So that's the line that connects us. And
yes,
still surprised that this is taking so long. And here we go, recovering.
It looks like we did it right, guys. We actually have recovery, so
yes,
it should be good.
Excellent. My gold pieces, man.
That's okay, man. You can give them to me once we are both in Hearthstone.
Yeah, but it's gonna take me like another 10 minutes to farm maybe 1,000 gold pieces. As we all know, that World of Warcraft has the most ridiculous inflation ever.
Yeah, man, that game. I remember when that was played, and it was like, dude, you have 2 gold? Holy, that's so much money. And now it's like, oh yeah, I just sort of made 1,000 gold just now, just doing some quests. It's so easy.
Oh, by the way, big spoiler for everybody that didn't know, the next World of Warcraft expansion will be called Warlords of Draenor. Apparently the logo was leaked in the BlizzCon pre-show footage. And yes, now, here's the thing. Like, we can see everything.
Yes.
But
if all is well, they should not. Actually, no, they do not actually have the whole vision.
alright. Excellent. That's good. It's good. Then just resume, and boop, you are 10 gold richer, and we are both very lucky that that didn't end well.
I guess, you know who really wins out on this? The viewers. Because they
yes.
get non-bullshitty games.
Well, it's still a bit early for that.
Well, of course,
Yeah.
BS can still happen.
Yeah.
But right now,
And
actually...
meanwhile, there is action in the main base of Busker.
Oh, wow. And in the natural, Queen goes down. A lot of drones go down. A lot of good damage being done by all of these zealots from Busker. And... sorry, zealots from Lysandro. Busker is a Zerg player. Holy crap.
Yeah, imagine if he had zealots, man.
That'd be pretty good. Like, if you could just morph a few Zerglings into zealots. And this attack is actually ongoing. It's starting to look to me like this is an all-in. There's no follow-up. There's another War Prism coming in, but he's not actually getting any upgrades. He's not getting any workers even. He's not even setting up to take a third. There's nothing that indicates that after this has subsided, he intends to go away.
Yeah, I don't really agree with this all in. I mean, it was the first time. If you can hold this all in, like the first wave, then it just shows that this is not really going the way you want it to. And now he's going with a double-pronged attack into the main and the natural. There is a Spore Crawler that should complete. Another Spore Crawler is being made, and the Zerglings have been split, so, gets a nice round over there. The Zealots are slowly working on the Zerglings, but they do have the +1, though.
Yeah,
and I would
Busker's
like
gonna
to see some Banelings being morphed, to be honest.
Yeah, Busker has to be careful. He can't attack with just a few lings at the same time. Zealots are just too cost-effective for that sort of thing. More lings coming out. Fortunately, Busker built that extra macro hatch. I'm actually, at this point, beginning to consider maybe he knows about this all-in. Maybe he knows the play. Maybe he scouted something that gave it away. And he knows that, you know, what I need to hold it off is 4 hatches. Because if I have 4 hatches, I can produce enough lings to help hold this off if he does go for it. Could be, man.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty good, and we can see there are a lot of Zealots. I would really like just more and more Banelings. Sure, Banelings don't exactly kill Zealots as fast and efficiently as they do Marines, but in this situation, you just would need that splash damage, and right now he's trying to buy time. He gets us around on both the sentries. They will go down. The natural has gone down as well. But he just needs to survive right now, as if he does survive with all of these Zerglings, he will eventually overrun his opponent. But where are the Queens, Ryder? That War Prism just keeps on chugging.
Yeah, this is a very, very strong push slash all-in by Lysandro. He knows exactly the strength of Zealots, which are really good against a lot of things. As Destiny calls them, they're mini Ultralisks. And there's some truth to that, because they're very tanky and they just do so much damage. You require a very disproportionately large amount of army as a Zerg player to be able to deal with this. And can he get the goods? A lot of stuff that dies very quickly, but there's still a lot of Zealots remaining. And of course the production capacity from Lysandro, being able to reinforce more and more units. Spore's gonna come in, try to destroy this War Prism. It's looking still grim, but remember, Busker still has 2 hatcheries, one of which is at the 3rd location. But there's the GG. Lysandro. I didn't oopsie. I didn't oopsie. We were looking at my fucking Sorry. Sorry, guys. Sorry. We were looking at my face throughout the game. This is the biggest.
Yeah.
This is the biggest botch I've done all month.
No, it's alright. It's alright, man. A bit worse things. Like, we could have been. I'm gonna have no sound all during a game. So, yeah, it was a pretty good game with charm. Sadly, you guys missed, so pretty good game. It's hard on yourself, man, and so yep. So we'll be back after the torch break.
You're falling away there, buddy.
Yeah?
Yes, you're becoming increasingly inaudible. I'm going to restart the call. I'm going to facepalm a little bit more. I think that would probably help. and then we're gonna see about getting ourselves into another game. So stay tuned. We will be back after a short break.
Like to read. 1 second, suddenly the course is me. Pop culture is in art and pop culture in me.
Oh yes, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we are back. We are back in this TMK. Hi there. Are you there?
How is the audio?
It sounds like, you know those Fisher Price computer things?
What?
Yeah, Fisher Price has this model of kids' computers where they say words like tree, 1, 2, 3. That's
Wow.
a little bit like what it sounds like.
Does it sound better or?
It sounds a little better. But I'm gonna be honest with you, man. It's that landline is getting hammered by something, and not in a good way.
I don't understand why. It's one of those situations that can't be handled.
Yes, absolutely. All right, so we're going to go into this game. Can you hear me fine, by the way?
Yeah.
Okay, that's something. Good, excellent. Whoop, whoop. Magic's happening, guys. I mean, I'm really curious actually to see because it seems that we for some reason there's a few things not going as smoothly as maybe we would like. Some. Woo, there goes TMK again. Some of them are user errors. Some of them are of a technical nature. Very curious if that is going to lead into WCS in a few hours. I hope not. I mean, I hope that this is sort of we're getting the preliminary fecal storm, and then later this is gonna go smoother. So thank you to everyone for sticking with us. We're very happy to have you here. I hope you have your drink and your tasty nummies ready. And you know, on another tab in your browser, you will have the WCS stream already prepared just in case it goes live a little earlier. And I would be totally with you if I wasn't casting already, because it's a little hard to try to follow 2 games at once. Oh yeah, even our admin's getting login errors. It seems that the hurtin' is going on everywhere. Oh, unfortunately we don't have a Mish in the chat, but he seems to be in the game. So that's somewhat good. The game is gonna begin. I am now admin. We have both players ready, so let's get into the game and get ourselves ready. I'm gonna see if I can find the Mish King. Alright, getting the call. Getting that call. Hello, the Mish King.
Got it.
You're in the game. You're in the call.
Yes.
You
yes,
sound
I
amazing.
am. Really?
Yes, it is good to hear your voice.
Excellent, excellent. So I'm assuming that Europe and Asia are having a bit of a conflict.
I guess
at
so.
landline. A bit flaky.
Yeah. A little bit, so we're gonna hope that this is the last. So let's go to that awesome leader video that we have, and let's get into this game. Alright, in the bottom left corner on Derelict Watcher, we have our Zerg player from the team Love Your Girlfriend. In the yellow trunks, aptly, it is Pikachu.
Excellent. And his opponent spawning on the top right hand side, playing for Alloy Esports, Kite of Doom.
I know that name. I'm pretty sure I've seen that name before.
Really?
Yeah. I saw it in the chat channel earlier, and I am just certain that I have seen this nickname at least somewhere before. Maybe not the player, but apparently these are Finnish or Swedish. I can never distinguish between the writing, and I know there's a lot of Finnish people who are going to kill me for that, but that's fine.
Yeah, because they'll be like, well, it's totally different, man. And on a side note, I just realized that, you know, near the ramp there are those 2 circular things.
Yeah.
Those are actually broadcasting star maps.
Oh, really? Yeah.
I like those planets. That's pretty cool.
That is pretty cool. Maybe it can tell us a little bit about where we are.
Well, I don't know if it could tell us that much, but it is a nice little touch, these maps. Those little fine touches that Blizzard add to their maps are always so very cool. Like Frost does have a lot of Christmas trees.
Yeah, it's that attention to detail that I think you know, is what makes a good game developer a great game developer.
Yeah, this is true. This is true, and it raises the bar as well, and forces the game developers to be like, you know, take note and just do it, because guys that just continuously play the game over and over, they enjoy those fine little details.
Yeah.
Sure, there are also those situations where it's like, oh, we have packed a ton of Easter eggs, but sadly the guy won't notice it.
Yeah.
Especially on the first raid through, like like you've had those situations, right, where you have a friend which says, hey, dude, have you seen this on this map? Like, no, I haven't. Like, for example, the Lich King thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, so...
Yeah, and it's one of those little rewards for people who stick to it, and I think that's really great. Because
Yeah.
you know, at the surface, if you're invested into the gameplay and you know the thing that makes StarCraft 2 so amazing, and then you know that makes it stick to it, and you're just playing and playing, and then all of a sudden you notice, hey, this little thing here is actually really cool. There's a little attention to detail. There's a little guy in the missile turret. There's a Lich King on this map. These things are actually broadcasting star maps. It's that sort of thing that's like a reward for sticking with StarCraft, you know, beyond just the superficial. And I think that's an amazing way to reward your player base by having that sort of stuff that you can discover.
Those are some nice fine touches, especially like this particular map, which is actually just a giant ship, which is just going through space. Pretty cool, man. Like, you can see some of the engines here, and I think there's some, like...
These little circle things actually look a lot like the little circle paths around the mothership. Oh,
yes. Yes, they do. That's a really nice touch over there. And if you look at the center of the map, near those big holes, you'll see, like... well, this is just this massive Las Vegas fountain thing. And if you look to always the right, you can see the actual jets.
Oh, yeah. And you can actually see that the jets are pointing this way, but we're actually moving that way.
Yep, I mean, look at the stars and look at the jets, man. Like, I think we're probably getting sucked into a black hole or something, but these Lings and everybody else doesn't seem to notice it. Positions his Ling in the near the front Pikachu, while Kitty of Doom is just playing it pretty straightforward. Like, man, not doing anything really crazy.
No.
Getting up his macro, but avoiding... Well, not really making the... I think the one thing which he isn't doing is just getting up that factory, like Hellions earlier. That's what I was trying to say.
That's cool. Yeah, I think he exchanged a little bit of that production to get... Like, he did not... what you normally see is you get, with the command center first into barracks play, is that both gases come up at the same time. And that's not what happened here. He got one and then the other a little later, so he had a bit more staggered gas. So, you know, the gas things are going to be a little later, but he did get, of course, the supply depots and the bunker at the front. And these two barracks came up a lot quicker than they normally would. So it's a bit of a trade-off, as you say, to get the Hellions out a little later. But he does get a little bit more infrastructure at a little bit of a sooner time, I feel.
Yeah, I mean, he's pretty much... this is a very in the middle of the road kind of play. It's neither I'm going to get a lot of production, it's neither I'm going to go for Hellions. And as you can see, Pikachu, though, he's choosing this third base.
Yeah.
That position for his third base, and getting up a Roach Warren behind it, so he might see some aggression from him, or it could just be a defensive Roach Warren.
Yeah.
Also getting up a Baneling Nest, so it might not actually be a defensive Roach Warren.
Yeah, that's
this
two
could
gas
actually
geysers.
Be for timing.
Yeah, absolutely.
I would like to see 3.
Roaches, Banelings. I think it's going to be just a sort of a Roachling, Baneling attack. Maybe he's identified that, you know, you don't have Hellions out. You don't actually have that much. So you're probably investing a lot into either another command center or a lot of infrastructure, meaning that I can probably hit a timing here. Hellions now come to the front, but the creep spread is actually already pretty far up.
Yeah, and of course these the Lings that will arrive do have speed, and it looks like the Hellions have seen the Roaches. They're making a beeline back to their homestead. Yep. The Lings are being, well, they're playing it a bit safe. They're not really straying too far from the pack of Roaches. They're used as their bodyguards, and the Hellions are locked out at the moment. I wonder if Kitty of Doom will actually bring the Hellions in just to try and snipe as many Banelings as possible.
Yeah, of course he has to be careful of the Roaches, because they I believe they actually have the same range as the Hellion.
Yeah, but like if he flanked from behind, that's what I meant.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And there's nothing. There was nothing but units coming out for Pikachu. So this looks like it is not just a little bit of an aggressive. No, look at that, Zerglings, Overlords. This is an all-in, my friend. He's going to be crushing into these walls, killing a lot. Oh, actually, that's a good hit. A lot of very, very damaged SCVs. Is this going to be enough, though, to clean up Kitty of Doom's army? And it's looking like Kitty of Doom is beginning to stabilize. More Lings coming in, though.
Yeah, but the Roaches have fallen, and behind us we do see drones and a lair, so this last stream of units, actually, which is now making a beeline back to the homestead, that was it. Not sure if he actually did enough damage, though, Ryder. Like, in the end of the day, he did lose nearly 1,200 resources more than his opponent.
He did. Of course, he does still have the worker advantage, so there is that. He's getting the lair up at a... I would say an otherwise reasonable time, you know, accounting for the fact that he did do that bit of aggression. Getting up 4 geysers, so, you know, probably going to transition into pretty standard play. There's 2 Evo chambers. It looked like an all-in just because he was making so much units for a while. But he's gone back to droning. I think seeing that he did not do all that much damage after all. And actually,
it was a bit wonky, to be honest.
Yeah.
Like, if he lost like one of the roaches, took a bit of splash damage, but it looks like City of Doom gonna hold that, and he's coming in with this massive drop at the third. I think he really wants to snipe the third, and the drones are gonna get down.
oh, only 4. But this is
was
not enough units to defend this, and because of this aggression, he does not actually have a large link force anymore, which he normally would have at this time. So this drop is really hitting quite a sweet spot there for Kitty of Doom.
Yeah, I mean, this is just ridiculous right now, and he's just streaming in with a handful of units, but it's just, well, turns out to be enough because Kitty of Doom is playing this super duper safe, but right now he's just pretty much said Domo Origato, Mr. Dead Zergarato, and leaves both of the Widow Mines behind. They will get picked off as the Spore Crawler did complete. So
Yeah, I do think those mines definitely...
I don't know, right?
Did the mines get their value in? Did the drop?
I don't think the drop got its value in overall. Like, I think it did in a way, but
What was
because
the,
he was like...
Sorry, what was the resource discrepancy before this? Do you remember?
Well, before it was 1200. Well,
Right.
1160, but now it's like 13, or around 1200, 1300 discrepancy. So it did, but it's like not that much. It's like
Right.
it's fair enough. But
They basically traded roughly equal. The only thing that really got affected was how quickly Zerg got everything at this base up, I suppose.
yeah.
Of course, this is denying drone production, which, if we look at the drone counts in the meantime, Terran's actually caught up in SCV count quite substantially. So this might actually be better for Terran because he's just not allowing Pikachu to get further ahead or get back into this game, assuming he's behind, which actually it does feel a little bit
Pikachu
like
is
he is.
way behind, man. Like, look at the supply difference. Just
Oh,
look
yeah.
at the units lost tab as well. And he's sticking with roaches, which is never that great, going for Glad Reconstitution while trying to get mutalisks up. Where's the gas coming from for this guy, man? And apparently there was a drop in the main that we missed.
Yeah, it looks like it. It is looking a little bit vacant here. 13
Yeah.
workers killed to 8. Yeah, this is pretty much what we've seen on the unit loss tab as well. Ooh. That Kitty of Doom is just being a little bit more cost effective. He held the all-in, or rather, he held the aggression, I should say, very, very well. And the follow-up drop was just a little bit more difficult for Pikachu to deal with. I imagine that Kitty of Doom had set up to do this drop regardless of whether Pikachu would have gone for the aggression himself. And because Pikachu went for the aggression, that's why it was so much more effective than it maybe normally would have been. But that's
maybe.
speculation. I don't know. I can't tell that for sure. That only works if we've seen another game from this guy, which we haven't. And that's the only downside of a team league, TMK, is that
Yeah.
we don't get to see multiple games from the same players.
Yeah, and also I'll give you a bit of a tip, by the way.
Do
If
tell.
you see a guy stick with roaches beyond, like, without going for hydralisks or anything in this particular matchup, that's never a good thing.
Ah, I remember that one. Oh,
Yeah.
a little bit of a crunch
Tries
here
to
by
flank.
Zerg. Not a great to split. Oh, good connection for the Banelings. A lot of squishy units.
Yep,
But
it's
there's
not
so
enough.
many Medivacs, holy crap.
Yeah, and they took a big pounding, by the way. They took a ridiculous amount of splash damage from all of those Widow Mines, but it was just not enough. And pretty much all of the bio have like one dedicated medevac each. And I think he's gonna have to lift off here, or he can just kite for days.
Yeah, either way, he does of course pick off a lot of creep tumors. Basically resetting the creep for Pikachu, which wasn't that great to begin with because he doesn't have that dedicated queen to spreading creep. He had to cut so many corners, and I guess the creep spreading queen was one of them. And it just means that, you know, he's sort of balled up, he's defensive. He does have a 4th up, which I don't think Kitty of Doom knows about at all. Oh, he does. So he doesn't have that going for him either. Basically, you know, after that first aggression, it's been just beaten, battered, and brought back down. Kitty of Doom actually doing a very good job playing this out.
Yeah, I mean, he's just playing it out. He's just sticking to his game plan. He's not really doing anything super cute. And his opponent is kind of beating his fists against a wall here. I mean, he's getting bloodier and bloodier. You can tell that those hands are starting to fracture. And his bones are starting to splinter, Ryder.
Ouch. That
Yeah.
does not sound very tasty at all, I gotta say. I would not like to be Pikachu with the beaten and broken knuckles of the. I don't even know, man. This is a lot of army though. Pikachu is mustered up here, and he's getting a nice bit of drones behind this. Maybe if he gets a very good engagement here, he can try help swing momentum back into his favor. But it's an uphill battle for sure.
Yeah, I agree. If it all comes down to that one engagement, sure, roaches aren't exactly awesome, but considering the massive marine count, if he gets a really good engagement, he runs fast. And this could be it. This could be the Hail Mary. He runs on in. The army of Kitty of Doom is literally melting with acid, and somehow, some way, he's done it.
This is a fantastic engagement by Pikachu, being able to drive his opponent back like this. This maybe shouldn't have happened. He caught all of those mines off guard, and the rest of the army just wasn't that sturdy. This is the reason why, of course, ranged units aren't that great, but once you get in this position where you have so much more, they're actually pretty good, and they can definitely go toe-to-toe. Of course, the upgrades being kept very, very well up by Pikachu, so he's not actually behind if he continues to, if he decides to transition into regular play.
Battle cruisers.
Oh, everybody, do the battle cruisers. Fusion core downs.
I was actually wondering, where are all the marauders? Because you'd expect a higher, more marauder count, but in this particular case, there are no marauders. It's like only a handful. You'd normally have a lot, but look at the flood of Roach Zergling army just coming on in. He doesn't really have enough in the ground army, and even with Stim, he's got the +2 armor, so these roaches are extremely robust. And he's just powering his way up the ramp, forcing his weight on his opponent. The sheer brunt of the army is so much that I think Kitty may have thrown this game.
Yeah, the fusion core just looks like he was like, you know what, I'm so far ahead, I can totally do this. Definitely underestimated the strength of his opponent. This is what happens when you get cocky, ladies and gentlemen. You get beaten back, and you get proven that no, you are in fact not God. You are not Flash. You are not the Jaedong version that plays Terran. You are Kitty of Doom, and I am Pikachu, and I will choose you to die.
Wow, that was literally Pikachu's quick attack into a thunderstorm. That was just amazing. And the Onyx that was Kitty of Doom is just faltering. He was a stone type versus an electric type, but somehow, some way, Ash Ketchum has found a way to do it. Pikachu just had so much heart in this game. He's got Mutalisks coming, he's got Zerglings coming, and just look at the supply dwindle, man. Sure, these roaches, man, this is like Band of Brothers. They've been through so much.
Yeah, they've been through so much, and they have killed so much. 10, 3, other stuff. This is just, it's only now, after so many minutes of fighting in the main of Kitty of Doom, doing so much damage, does he clean it up, and the 4th is denied, which is fantastic. There's 3-3 coming up for Kitty of Doom, which is actually going to be ahead of his opponent's +3 armor. He only is getting +1 for the bio, and this is just very, very grim for Kitty of Doom, who's down to 7 supply.
Yeah, and one of the things which makes me wonder,
What's that?
like, question sanity, it's like you got this fusion core, right?
Yes.
But you don't have a single starport with a tech lab.
That's a good one. Maybe he decided that was a pretty costly investment, that maybe that would
Yeah,
get him
but
behind.
why would you invest in the upgrades, though?
I don't know, man. I think it was the signs of an overconfident man who is now getting beaten back by Zerglings and Banelings who are about to have 3-3. There's the GG love your girlfriend's Pikachu takes the win in that amazing comeback. Actually, I think I forgot to add one more point. So, whatever.
What have we seen?
We have seen exactly what happens when you try to spell out your name in pylons. We have seen what happens when you decide to all in, when you think you have a tiny advantage, when you pull all of your SCVs, when in fact your army is about the same size, maybe a little less. We have seen what happens when you are pretty sure you've won this, but you haven't.
Dude, we've seen a guy get a fusion core.
Yeah.
get not one but 2 upgrades.
And get 2
And
armories.
only have 1 starport,
Yeah,
right?
with a reactor.
Yes. Not a tech lab, but a reactor.
Reactor. I'm gonna say that's
And we saw him move command into a sea of roach lingbane.
we saw him forgetting to burrow the mines at the
Yes.
engagement. We
Yes.
saw a man who was pretty sure he's got this get
Yep, we
overrun
saw a man. Yep.
by
Yep,
a player
it
who was just trying his very best to fight his way back into the game.
respect Pikachu.
Absolutely.
Respect. It's Pikachu always reminds me that no matter how much you want to evolve it into a Raichu, Pikachu is still pretty good.
Yeah, it is still pretty good. It's pretty quick. You can do a lot of stuff that maybe you don't expect. Maybe you're like, well, I think I've beaten him back. Maybe you think, well, he's not that fast. But then, you know, he still has quick attack, and that's always faster.
Exactly, man. Quick attack. It's not a slow attack. It's a quick attack, man.
Yeah, pretty much. And that was exactly what happened in that game. We got a really quick attack, and then all of a sudden we were like, wait, it's over. Well, it wasn't over, but it was
Yeah,
pretty...
but it was like that was when the writing started. You know, the writing was on the wall,
Yeah.
and once the main base was breached, and those roaches, did they actually die in the end? They just kept living. It's pretty crazy.
Yeah, they kept living for so long. They were so sturdy.
That was only game 3, guys. This is game 4, and wow, I still am in shock. 'Cause
Yeah.
that normally is never supposed to happen. Like, if you're sticking to roaches, sure, having banelings is a really good thing, but your army overall isn't as optimal as you would normally have it. It's effective, but not optimal, right? You'd want to get up that Mutaflock. You'd want to slowly tech towards Ultralisks.
Mhm.
But in this case, when you move command into a sea of banelings and roach,
Yeah. It's
Things
not the
happen.
greatest decision to make. But perhaps that is a train of thought you might want to look at after the game and go, well, maybe
Seriously,
I could have
man.
made some different choices here, affected the game a little bit.
you know what would have really been interesting?
What was that?
If he had opted to add in some infestors, because that would have been really good. That way the Marines would be stuck, the Roaches and Banes would be even more effective, and yeah, I think that would have been even better. But that, Pikachu, my hat's off to you.
Apparently the Kid of Doom is in chat right now saying that the Fusion Core was a misclick. He meant to make a factory. And I guess it's a reasonable mistake to make. I think that
I'm curious, though.
If
honestly
that is
curious
true,
about one
though.
thing. I'm
Yeah.
curious about one thing. Are the factory bindings and the Fusion Core bindings or upgrades exactly the same? No, as in like when you select the actual structure and use
I
the
don't
same
know.
bindings as you would in a factory, would it actually queue up upgrades? Because if that happens, that's pretty good.
Yeah, I guess that must have been what happened. So, like, if you actually look at the keyboard, the shortcut key for factory is of course V for advanced structures and an F, and for the Fusion Core it's V and C. So it's pretty close. So you know, if you tap wrongly, then you can accidentally make that. And I'm not.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
But like for both?
Well, that's the only thing I don't know. I don't know what the hotkeys are for the upgrades for the Fusion Core.
Yeah, because it's like it's one thing to actually make that structure. It's another thing. Like, I'm really curious. Like, I doubt it's like I'm not blaming him or anything, but I'm just saying that would be a really interesting thing that the future. What's it called? The bindings of the actual structure bindings, like to make units and stuff, are exactly the same. So, because that would be really weird in my opinion. Maybe he was trying to YOLO it after that point, like face bombing, and you're like, you know what, just let's watch this Fusion Core dance.
Yeah, I mean that's always a good
I have
play.
a big announcement actually.
Is that so?
Yep, the beta for Heroes of the Storm goes live today.
Wow, really? Oh, okay, that's interesting.
Yeah, it's the sign up also. It's today.
Okay. Well, I'll make sure to be signed in because I'm always
I am
interested in.
signing up right now, man.
Oh,
Multitasking.
sick.
I have you to do all the camera work. man.
That's true. That's very true. So speaking of camera, let's go to a sick video that leads us into the game. Alright, in the 6 o'clock position on Polar Night, we have our Zerg player from Team Alloy. In the orange trunks, it is Hexadragon.
Yes, and his opponent today, playing for Team Love Your Girlfriend, Hato Mario.
Another ZVT. Very curious what's going to happen.
Yeah.
Very curious indeed. This is a. It seems to me, it looks like Polar Knight is actually a small map, but I found in playing some matches on this, some TVZs and some ZVTs, that it actually isn't. You can actually play very long games on this without all too much trouble. The paint train actually takes a reasonable time to get to your base.
Yes, that is true. I mean, at first glance, it does look like a pretty small map, but due to the pathing on this map, and also, I just say like the overall, it's like when you go on to more and more bases, like ignoring your base, like the distance from your base to your opponents, it just feels like the map gets longer the longer that you play this game.
Yeah.
It's very interesting, actually, and I feel it's got something to do with feng shui.
Maybe it just has a nice stream of energy to it that just sort of flows very naturally.
Let me show you where the Batcave is on this map.
You have a bat? Oh, do show me where the Batcave is. I'm gonna go to your camera. Oh.
Right. See, it's even got the little.
Oh yeah, and then it lifts up, and it's that's so cool. That is so cool. TMK,
Yes.
thank you so much for showing me that. I didn't know. That's cool stuff, man.
I know, right? And of course, we have the steps near the Zerg base. Like we saw that last week, I think, or the SC Rush. And it's pretty cool the amount of detail that they've added on this particular map, man.
Yeah.
Seriously. And then we got the, of course, rich minerals over here. Bet everybody wants to get their grubby little hands on this.
Yeah. The team grubby little hands.
Oh yes.
Pretty standard play from HO Mario. It seems, but there's actually an SCV and a Marine coming here. And a bunker! Mr. Bunker. But it's okay, because we get to catch it before Hexadragon does.
The Overlord! Hexadragoniri!
Yeah.
Sees it.
And this is freak out time, because this bunker's done.
Yep.
So this is why you tend to have an Overlord on top of your hatch, because your hatch doesn't see anything. Like, it's blind as a bat out of a bat cave.
Yeah, and it looks like he's making a spine crawler right now, and the Marine is just about to get in, and it's just the one Marine for now. Oh, nice little bit of damage there, and he's gonna get a little bit more damage onto that Marine. Will buy some time, and I think that's the real point there. He just wants to buy enough time. The drone is bugging out over there, and an additional Marine will come to reinforce, and I think that spine crawler will have to be cancelled.
Yeah. It turns out that... this Marine's sort of stuck a little. It turns out that the bunker and the SCVs are just enough to force it down before it even finishes. Queen does finish. I'm not sure, but it's beginning to look like Hexadragon is going to have a tough time holding on to this hatch.
Yeah, I mean, he's got to, like, start... normally you'd want to start the spine crawler a bit further away and then just, like, plop it in while using some units to tank, and it looks like there will be a counterattack. We do see that there is a command center on the low ground.
Yeah.
And I
love
think
this
this will be contested.
I love this play by Hexadragon. He's basically going, yeah, you're going to kill this hatch. There's not a lot I can do with that, but you can actually reinforce it, so it's going to die slowly. So I'm going to do a counterattack. And I'm going to try to kill as much of your stuff. Of course, he doesn't want to attack the bunker, because that's going to get repaired. Oh, that's a little bit of a misclick there from Hexadragon, who is in a lot of trouble. There's nothing with Link's coming out. There's Link speed on the way. The Baneling Nest is done.
Yeah, he's going all in.
Yeah, Hexadragon just wants to kill his opponent now. He's like, oh man, I can't believe I let this happen. But there's one way out of this, and that is if you die before I die. And that's a good that's a good strategy, I'd say.
Yeah, and I gotta say, I gotta have one little critique about the strat is that you want to keep, like, sure, having the creep tumors in the front is really nice, but having only one, I'd say. Or if you're gonna start spreading creeps, spread it a bit further away, bro. Don't make them both next to each other. And here we go with the Banelings. Not really utilizing the additional production from that natural hatch before it goes down. Speed is just about done, and Blitzkrieg is about to commence, Ryder.
Yeah, we're gonna see if this is gonna be enough to get Hexadragon back into this game. If he can... Well, that's the great thing about a command center for Terran, is that they can lift it off. They can see the Banelings coming and go, you know what? If I just lift it, then you can't blow it up. If I lift it, then your Zerglings can't kill it. And that's really the only way I think Hexadragon is going to get back into this game, if he's able to either just kill his opponent outright, which is, oh, Bunker, Hellions, that's a pretty solid defense, man. And this, he's not going to get anything here. I think this is...
that was... Yeah, I like this move, by the way. By killing that supply depot, it just supply blocked him, albeit shortly, but he's going to have to make another couple of supply depots to like make use of all that extra production, and I think... Yeah, he's going to go even further all in, man. He's going to go all the way down the rabbit's hole. And if he keeps some of those banelings alive to kill some of the army, it will actually be good. But we do see so many structures are being built. He's throwing everything against the walls. This is like that zombie apocalypse right now.
Oh, and not focusing on the reactor. Oh, that is not enough to break the wall. There was too much stuff there, and there's a lot of Hellions in, so you can't actually go in with the Lings. The longer this is lasting, the more I'm feeling the pain for Hexadragon, who is... I can just imagine him sitting at his chair, looking at his computer, hitting the E button, and then just sort of sinking his head into his hands, going, why did that bunker go down? Why did it kill the hatch? Why am I in this position?
Oh, this is not good. I would have waited to have, like, over 10 Banelings, man. Like, we're both on one base. He's gonna kill this. Oh, he's gonna try to kill the supply depot, will not, and it looks like an SCV will be sent to finish it off.
That's a lot of Hellions, by the way.
Yeah, that is indeed a lot of Hellions. This is so smart because there's only Lings and Banes on the ground.
Yeah, pretty much. Now, the Roachworn is going down, and there's, of course, a lot of gas. And I say a lot of gas, and I just mean gas. From Zerg. He's taken a hatch at the third location, which means that he's at least going to have... that production. Oh, a little bit of a runaround.
Yeah, it's a path thing, man. He's having to split those units individually. He will lose a lot of Lings trying to clean this up, and I think the bunker is more than paid for each other. Here comes the pain train. Choo choo!
There's the GG. Love your girlfriend, HDO Mario, with a quick bunker rush, showing us why it is important to keep eyes on the hatchery that's building at your natural. Because if you don't see it in time, then it can actually cost you your hatchery if it just gets up with a marine.
Yep. The big announcement, Android Hearthstone has been announced, so Android users, rejoice.
Yay! I was actually waiting for that. I knew it was coming to iPhone, but that little detail just makes it awesome. And a friend of mine actually has an Android tablet, and he's going to be pretty chuffed,
oh,
I can imagine. So that's cool.
Oh my god, you know what the card is that you get for the Hearthstone card that you get for the BlizzCon thing?
What's that?
It's like it's a Tauren chieftain from the Warcraft band, man. Apparently when you play it, everything goes black and music starts playing with crazy lights.
That's pretty cool.
It's like, wow. Wow, what a troll card, man.
Yeah, it's pretty
cool. Yep, pretty darn cool.
So that's 4-0 for Love Your Girlfriend.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, LOE has got one chance to prevent the all-kill, prevent the flawless victory. I do believe that Love Your Girlfriend already gets 2 points in addition to...
Yeah, for 4 games, yeah.
Yeah, in addition to the 4 games. So we're going to be able to see, is Alloy going to get that last game for Honor and Ire and the Swarm and the Horde and all these other things? Or is it going to be a complete all-kill 5-0 for utter dominance by Love Your Girlfriend? We're going to have to see in a little bit. We're actually going to invent it in the games. These players must be ready to get going. Guys, let's play the last game. I want to watch WCS in a few. And I mean, man. I'm not complaining, man. Not complaining in the least.
I mean, like, a lot of stuff seems to be... A lot of factoids seem to be dropped constantly right now from WCS. A friend of mine is actually watching and letting me know. Apparently, they showed some of the footage of Heroes of the Storm, and they're adding a lot of additional gameplay elements, and he says it looks fun. And my friend is a very staunch Dota 2 player.
Ah, okay.
So, him actually looking interested into it makes me even more interested. I'm just interested for one reason and one reason alone. I am a massive Lich King fanboy.
You want to play that Lich?
Yes.
You want to play that Lich all day long?
Yes. And of course, they've got Illid in the game, they've got Kerrigan, they've got pretty much everybody. So even if I don't get the Lich King, there'll always be somebody I can actually play that I like.
Yeah, that's the cool thing about Blizzard. Like their character roster that they have is just it's chock full of amazing characters. So there's something there for everybody, and more than not, there's multiple things there for everybody. So that's just very cool. And of course, there's not a MOBA game yet that I've picked up playing for multiple times. I've tried League of Legends, I've tried Dota 2. I found they're not the games for me, but I will be playing this because it's Blizzard Dota, and it might just be little things. I don't know. I still haven't figured out what exactly about it that does and does not work for some people.
Mm-hmm.
So we're gonna see. Maybe this will convert me to the MOBAs. Or maybe I'm just going to be stuck playing Hearthstone for the rest of my life. Who knows? We're going to see.
Yeah, by the way, did you know one of the reasons why they changed it from Blizzard All-Stars to Heroes of the Storm?
What's that?
Apparently people are calling it balls.
Yeah, that would...
Wow.
And-
it never occurred to me.
No,
Honestly,
me
it didn't occur
neither.
to me. Then a friend of mine said it, and now I'm really glad they changed
Yeah.
it.
Also, it is kind of funny that they're going like, wow, that's not an abbreviation we want associated. Let's go with something that has a bit more of a friendly abbreviation that, sounds somehow vaguely homely and maybe familiar. Something like HOTS. That sounds about good. We don't have a game that has that, do we? Nah, it'll be fine. It'll be...
Oh, this just in. Apparently they will be copying Guild Wars 2 by adding scaling to World of Warcraft, where if you're you're maxed out level, right?
Right.
You go to an old zone where the level is let's say 10 or something, right? You'll actually be scaled down in terms of your stats and stuff. So your item level will be the same, but stats-wise you will be nerfed quite hard.
Wait, so if you go into a low-level area, then you're weaker?
Yep, you are.
But that seems odd to me. Like, one of the big strengths, I think, that, MMORPGs have is that element where you get stronger, and then, a friend asks you for help, or you just happen to be passing through an area that you've played before, and it's like, wow, I can wreck these guys. I am so much stronger than I was, and that, that I used to struggle here, but now I get to bop them. That feeling is amazing, and they're going to take it out.
But it's not necessarily a bop. It's more like it's like, oh my goodness, it's really hard to describe. It's like you're God.
Yeah.
And everybody else will just, if they hit you, they'll die.
Yeah, bow before me, my minions.
Exactly. It's like you're Superman and everybody punches you, but then they're like, what the hell? This is are you made of some kind of dwarven adamantium alloy? So it's like, what the hell, man? So in this sense, you're still ridiculously powerful, by the way, Ryder, because your items are very high-level items. So your items themselves will carry you quite far. But in terms of your level, you'll still be vulnerable, because you get a lot of situations where a level 90 goes to a level 10 area, which is a very common area. Like, for example, the Crossroads in the Barrens or Goldshire.
Okay.
And they just start killing people for days. It's just a massacre, right? But at least with this, the lobies will have a little bit more of a shot.
That's true. So there's at least that. We're going to go into the last game, and it appears
between
that...
a silver.
Yes, LOE has been has decided to sport their caster, Maui Spartan, who was going to be casting these games, because it seems they have ran out of players available to play at this time. So, Winter versus Maui Spartan. Let's see that leader video. Alright, and in the bottom left corner of Whirlwind Ladder Edition, we have as the Red Terran player from Team LOE, Maui Spartan.
Alrighty, and really quickly before I introduce this next player, they haven't really announced the scaling, guys, but they're really hinting towards it. And a man who never hints, we have Love Your Girlfriend, Winter, sporting those purple trunks.
Yeah, so this is going to be an interesting match. I think it's going to give Winter a very good opportunity to showcase just exactly how silly these games can get by lifting off his
that is
command
pretty
center.
silly.
And I think he's gonna be landing it at his third location, which is going to be good, because it means that if Maui Spartan is going to scout every base, he's probably going to miss the main, because I think actually if you target it, it will not go through this base. It will actually go around because of this little area here. I'm not sure though.
I'm not 100%.
No.
Okay.
Anyway, for all intents and purposes, this is a show match, so I believe let's not preemptively give them the point, but there is definitely a degree of skill imbalance at play. So bear with us, bear with everybody. It's gonna be good.
Well, this match is technically a dead rubber at this point. I mean, Alloy, they fought pretty hard, but Love Your Girlfriend, man, they're really showing they're really showing how good these guys are.
Yeah.
Like right after this, I think they may end up #1 unless Team Darkstar also won their series of games and won them flawlessly. So currently they're both sitting at 17 points, but after this week, like I haven't added this week's points, guys.
Right.
This is from last week's standings. They're both at 17 points each. So I think that Love Your Girlfriend may end up taking the #1 spot.
Yeah, that is definitely seeming feasible. Winter, of course, gets a scout off, which is fortunate for him, because that's still a lot more time. He doesn't have to be on the field, the SCV. And yeah, it's actually surprising me how high the level of play has been, in particular from Love Your Girlfriend. They've been fielding some excellent players, doing some very, very good strats. There were a few really close games. I think the PvP was probably one of the closest games we've had so far.
PvP, PvZ.
Yeah, the
game
PvZ
2.
was really good as well. But just LOE just not quite up to snuff just yet.
Why are you saying LOE, by the way?
LOEE. That's their name.
Yeah,
isn't
but it's like you're saying LOE.
Oh, okay, LOE.
Oh, okay. Oh my goodness! It's just I'm for you, it's because of your pronunciation. It sounds like you're saying LOE.
Oh, that's because
So
that's because I'm a bastard Dutchman and I do not.
Say
have
it with me, man. Alloy. Alloy.
Alloy.
Yes.
All right, let's go. Cool.
Yes.
We will pronounce it as Dustly from this point onwards. Maui Spartan. No scouts in the base.
I don't know why, but it makes me think of EVE Online or something. LOE.
Huh.
Oh no! What was it called? I think it was Sword Art Online. Like the second season, they had something LOE or something like that. Anyway, back to this game. Do you see a ninja expand? Because Winter is pulling out all of the shenanigans. His opponent doesn't know where he is.
No,
He's probably wondering what is going on.
Maybe
like,
I didn't scout one position properly. No, he's not here. Huh.
Well, he's looking at the map. I think now he'll know where he is. Like, look at where he's scouting.
I think he may have actually clicked on one of the mineral patches and gone, wait a second, he was here.
Yeah, that's actually a really nice point. Yeah, that's actually a really nice point you bring up. But the question is, did he mine anything?
Yeah, he mined a little bit of resources. A few of mineral patches are down.
Oh
so now,
man, you'll be sick.
What were you
like,
sick?
if you disable the auto mining right before you do the shenanigans.
Oh yeah, and just lift off and never have mined in the first place.
Yeah, that would really mess with your opponent, but still, you probably check that area. Obviously, the bottom expansion at the 6 o'clock position has not been scouted. We do have a Banshee with Cloak, and of course, there is an engineering bay from Winter, so he can actually get the turrets. And oh my goodness, that SCV is slowly killing that engineering bay.
Yeah, he got himself stuck, and he decides that the life of an SCV is worth more than the potential to get upgrades and missile turrets.
Oh, he's gonna base his base with the planetary
fortress. This is gonna be planetary fortress push. This is so sick. We're gonna see if this is gonna work. Of course, the Banshees are out already, I believe. Yeah, there's a Banshee out. Yeah. So this is gonna, there's a certain degree of I'm not sure how effective this is gonna be.
No. Yeah. Oh, what? No. Yep. Oh.
Lands it. This is a winning move in and on itself, just because you can very easily deny it. Well,
yeah.
Banshee coming in. Missile turret about to be done. Does he get the kill? Oh, missile turret does not finish. Winter.
Yeah, and
Oh, he can get it.
and the planetary fortress.
Yeah, I
It's
think,
kind of
Mule's
weird.
gonna
It's
have
like as we can see the production tab, well, actually the development tab just go. It's like the what?
A fusion core. He's gonna transition into battle cruisers.
He's just he's got a little booklet of crazy shenanigans.
Is it gonna fit? No! Oh, it gets only one hit off before it dies. Oh, so sad, so sad. That is a very good play by Maui Spartan, who's actually now looking in a very good position to take this game.
Yeah, there are a couple of banshees though here, and they're trying to. They're like sharks right now, man. They're just trying to find those little holes in the defenses. And another engineering bay is being built because he killed it with his SCV. Oh my goodness.
This game.
Did the SCV kill it or did the Banshee kill it? Because if the SCV, oh, well, that Widowmine killed that Banshee, and that is 100% confirmed. And
That's a good hit.
Oh, when I supply.
Okay, if Winter's gonna win this, then you know they deserve the all kill more than any other team that's been playing today. Not for any other objective reason, but just because this is the most amazing strategy I've ever seen.
Dude, to be honest, how much anti-air is actually there?
There's no Vikings. There's a tank. There's some Marines and a mine.
There's not enough Marines.
No, possibly not, especially against two battlecruisers at the same time.
This can actually work.
Wow.
I'm not kidding you. This can legitimately work. And if it does, I'm gonna like just. I don't know,
yeah!
man.
Look! B for Behemoth Reactor and R for the weaponry fetch. So if you wanted to make, I think it's the Hellions are R.
I am not entirely sure. I think you're gonna have to check the hotkey bindings. But let's do this after because I want to see if this works.
Okay, a little bit of a 2-marine push. Not the most effective strategy, but the
Because
winter.
this is just so crazy.
Absolutely, and now there is of course no more base here, so he's not going to be able to mine. As if that were a legitimate statement. Yes, it totally is. 2 battlecruisers about to be done. There's no upgrades for him, but that's fine. Did you actually know that the fusion core, even if it's not upgrading anything, has like these power arcs going over it?
Yeah, I noticed that in the last game. And the battle cruisers are operational.
One Viking, not good enough. We're gonna see if Maui Spartan is gonna respond to this. He's beginning the marine production. He has a few barracks, no reactors though, so that's gonna be.
Widowmine, man, like that is the one way you can get a lot of damage on the Widowmine. He needs a burrow, but it's just too far away. And now the Marines come in. Look at the melt though.
Yeah, that's some good damage from the battlecruisers. Of course, the battlecruisers natively have 3 armor, reducing a lot of that. DPS Mule coming in for the repairs. And that's the GG. Winter wins at life. He wins at StarCraft. He wins at playing the universe. I think Love Your Girlfriend 5-0.
That was
really,
so spectacular.
Really represents, like, I'm inclined to just give them 5 points for that win, but I don't think that the other teams will appreciate that. So I guess we'll have to stick to this for now.
Yes.
Thank you, Mishking, for joining me on this weird and wacky cast.
No. You don't need to thank me. We need to thank Winter.
Yes.
I'm going to subscribe to his Twitter because that was hilarious.
Yeah, man, this is a man you deserve to see more of. So this is a pretty good game, a pretty weird cast. I guess that's all to be expected. Everybody's really psyched for WCS. That's going to start in, I think, 10 minutes.
It's already started. Like, the panels have begun. The actual WCS hasn't begun as of yet, I believe, but it will be beginning shortly. Yeah. So, yeah. So
move your buttocks all over there. We are done here for tonight. Thank you very much for watching. We will be back next week, I think, with another Top Dog EU. I've been Ryder. This has been the Mishking, the most handsomest of the Mishkings. And we will be catching you all later. My goodness, that game. So yeah, we're tuning out. Goodbye, guys. Thanks for watching.